Hi there, and welcome to my little series of business how-tos. How do we actually grow our business and take it to the next level? And these are some of the sort of top ideas that I've come across in the many years that I've been coaching, and to give you some real hands-on approach to what you need to do in your business in order to move it forward. So let me start with a bit of an overview of what we're going to be covering in this series. So I've really looked at it from three areas. Yeah, how do we build a great team? How do we get more out of the time that we've got? Because that's one of our most precious assets. And also, how are we going to make more money as we go forwards? So you can get a bit of an idea of what we're going to be covering. I'm going to start today with the organization chart. How do we build an organization chart for our business, irrespective of what you do? The essence of what you need to go through to achieve that is all the same. So let me give you an example of, probably my starting point for this. And you can see here that one of the key mistakes that most people make when they do an organization chart is they put people's names into that chart. And you should never ever do that to start with. What you want to do is start with roles. And for every role you have, there must be a clearly defined goal that is needed to be achieved. And therefore, we start at the top of the organization chart with the shareholders. Their number one goal is to get a return on their investment. They put money into a business to start it up, and they want a return on that investment for the risk of that money that they've put in, whether that be £1 when you're starting your own business and put all of your time in, or if you're a more seasoned investor, you've put in perhaps multi-millions into a business. Again, you want to see a good return on that. And the way we get that return is to drive profit within the business. And that task is given to the managing director. The MD is there to drive the profit and ensure those profits are sustainable for the future years. And that's where the shareholder value comes from. How consistent our profits are going to be going forwards. So the managing director has that goal, and it's their responsibility to put a team together to actually deliver that profit. Now, for me, there are 5 key roles that must be filled by the people within the organization. If you're a one-man band, your name is in every one of these boxes. If you've got 1,000 people, then you're going to have specific people actually in each of these boxes. And the starting point for me is the marketing director. And their number one goal and their responsibility is to drive leads, new business into the organization. And they'll have a team of people to help them achieve that, from somebody in charge of advertising, social media, the website. Doesn't matter what role they're going to be doing, their overall goal is to get that particular marketing strategy to generate leads. Once the leaders come in, they pass it over to the sales team, and the sales team's job is to convert that. So their number one goal is conversion. What are their conversion rates from the various sources of leads? How are they going about getting repeat business from their existing client base? And between marketing and sales, it's a team effort here. They have to drive the sales of the business. Now, if we're not achieving the sales, the managing director asks the marketing director, why haven't we achieved sales? The easy option is to blame the sales team and say, well, I've given them the leads, but they're not converting them. And likewise, if I go to the sales director and say, why are we not achieving sales? They'll blame the marketing director to say that the leads that are coming in are poor quality. So the managing director's role is to actually manage the directors, manage those 2 departments to get them to work together to drive the sales of the business. Once the sales are in, it's then handed over to operations, and operations' job is to deliver on time and on budget. They've got to deliver the promises that the sales and marketing team have made. And they have a team of people in various roles in order to deliver that. And the figure on the profit and loss account they're responsible for is the cost of sales. Are we delivering that product in a timely fashion and hitting the cost so that our margin, our gross profit, is as high as it possibly can be? So if we're not achieving gross profit, managing director asks operations director, they quite easily blame sales and marketing to say that they've overpromised. Talk to the sales and marketing team, they'll blame operations for not being able to deliver on what they've actually promised. So again, I've now got to manage these 3 relationships within the business. And then we come to the finance director. Now, the finance director has many roles, but I like to sort of think about this as the financial security of the business. So the number on the profit and loss account they're responsible for is the overheads. Are the overheads that we're paying for, and other costs actually the right size, and are we getting the most out of it for the operation that's going on? Because if we're not hitting the net profit, then one of the key areas will be, are we overspending within the overheads of the business? But also there's a relationship between the finance director and operations and sales and marketing, because if they want to actually improve their areas, they're often asked to actually spend more money. And if the finance director is constantly saying no, then it might actually hinder the growth of the business rather than, and therefore not allow net profit to grow. Whereas the finance director will be thinking, well, if I save money, then it's going to improve profit. So again, now I've got 4 relationships as the managing director to actually work with. The final one is one that a lot of people then forget, which is the HR director. And the HR director's responsibility is about happy people. So are we recruiting the best people? Are we inducting them? Are we appraising them? Is everybody actually enjoying working for this organization? So while these 4 here are driving profit, the balance to make sure we've got the longevity and this business can be sustainable well into the future is, have we got a team that's going to move it forward? So this one provides the sort of emotional balance between the performance metrics of the other 4 roles. So you can see here that you could overlay this organization structure on any business. Your job is to take this and actually boil it down and find how it fits into your organization. Only then, once you've ascertained all the roles, do you then start to put people's names against it. And then you'll find the gaps of roles that have no people. You might find 2 or 3 people in one role, but it gives you real clarity of where that accountability is. And after all, it's the shareholders that should be holding the director team accountable for actually delivering what they want, which is an increase in profits. Hope you found that useful, and please do look out for the other how-tos that we're going to be covering, and I wish you well with it. And if you've got any problems, please do give me a call. I'd love to help you. Take care. Bye for now.